Hi, welcome to Dig In Dallas Fort Worth. I'm Neil Sperry and welcome to my garden. I'm going to be showing you around a little bit today in the program. We also have a wonderful feature from the Fort Worth Botanic Garden from their fruit orchard, Jimmy Turner's test garden at the Dallas Arboretum, annuals you never dreamed of trying. The Texas Tree Climbing Championship, Andrea goes to an office herb garden, and Chef Chris is going to be cooking squash and pasta and goodness knows what else. You surely do want to stay tuned.
Join us on Dig In, presented by the Scott's Miracle Grow Company.
I couldn't show you my landscape without showing you my Nellie R. Stevens hollies. They're everywhere. This is my screening shrub of choice. If I need an 8 or 10 foot tall screen, I use Nellie R. Stevens holly, and I have for 40 years. These are about 20 years old. They've been pruned just once or twice to kind of let them fill out. We're going to go to the Fort Worth Botanic Garden now. Rob Bowereisen is waiting for us to show us a home fruit orchard right there in the Botanic Garden.
The orchard that we're standing in was built or actually planted in 2001 with the Alternative Learning Academy kids. So we planted the orchard with the kids, and this is essentially a mature orchard. We've got a variety of different fruits, from peaches to plums to apples to figs. Generally, fruit trees to flower and produce fruit well, they need to have full sun. So you need to have a site that's going to provide full sun. Fruit trees need to be pruned in the winter time, generally late January, early February, because they bloom and they produce fruit usually off of the new wood. So they need to be pruned regularly every season. Plant your fruit trees away from the home so you don't have the messiness of the fruit drop near the front door or the back porch. One of the tips for harvesting a good fruit crop is to be prepared to spray fruit crops. They need to be sprayed regularly for the plum curculio, which is a little worm that gets on the inside of the fruit and can, of course, spoil the quality of the fruit. There is a disease that impacts peaches called brown patch, and you need to spray with fungicide for that as well. One good tip is to go online and go to the Texas A&M website, because they have the listing of all of the tested fruit varieties for north central Texas. The Children's Garden is an excellent educational tool. We have fruit crops, we have vegetable crops, but what it allows for kids to come out and actually participate in planting vegetables and becoming involved in fruit crops and vegetables. Many kids don't even know, where beans come from. They only see them out of the can on their plate when they eat them, so they actually are able to come out and see and learn about vegetable crops here in the Children's Garden.
Here in our landscape, I don't have a lot of chance for color because of all the shade that we have from the pecan trees. I do have the brick pavers, antique brick pavers. I wear a red shirt when I work out here. Here's a plant that'll give you some color though. We've been looking at hollies today. This is dwarf Burford holly. You don't think of dwarf Burford holly as being 6 or 7 feet tall, but this is how tall it gets in 30 years. We have some beautiful berries forming now that'll color up this winter, and so we have the winter color when the trees are bare. Jimmy Turner has beautiful annual color in his test gardens. You need to see them, and you'll get a preview right now.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Turner, Senior Director of Gardens for the Dallas Arboretum. And absolutely the best part of my job is I get to test about 4,500 plants a year for adaptability to the Texas climate. We're looking for the best annuals, perennials, trees, shrubs, and ground covers, but really the annuals are our focus. We test about 3,000 of those a year to see which ones can take our summer heat. Matter of fact, we have a label called Flame Proof. Look for it at your local nursery. It says this plant can take from early spring right up to first frost, bloom all summer long, and take the worst weather Texas can throw at it. Looking at some of the best flame-proof annuals for Texas, ones that can really take our high night temperatures and high day temperatures and monsoonal rains followed by drought. This is an ornamental pepper called Black Pearl. It has deep burgundy black foliage all summer long, loves full sun, doesn't mind drought, low water use. Actually has deep shiny black fruit that look like big black pearls that turn bright red by the end of fall. Actually quite edible, but spicy and hot. This is a sun patient. It's a new variety of an impatient, and this actual impatient will grow in absolute full sun in Dallas, Texas. The drawback is You gotta water it about twice a day. This is a water hog. If you're gonna grow it in full sun, make sure you grow it really well into soil with compost, organic matter, or a little bit of clay, because it's gonna want some water every day, and it will let you know because it will wilt the first moment it's a little bit thirsty. This is Euphorbia Diamond Frost, an annual euphorbia, and probably one of the best new plants in the market that's hit in the last decade. Little white, tiny flowers. You think, well, it's really not that showy. Think of it as baby's breath like you would get in a rose bouquet for Valentine's Day. It makes everything it's by look a little bit better. It looks best planted in mass or mix it with something. Wonderful, great plant for Texas summers. This is Angelonia, sometimes called summer snapdragon. The only series I plant because it blooms all summer long. Makes a perfect little basketball shaped plant. And you can see these here, they're just almost about half grown. They'll be about twice this size. Perfect little meatballs, and they send up these little wands of flower right up until first frost. A lot of great plants to look at out here.
It's a Japanese maple that you see in our landscape. That's one way we get color out here. My wife loves them. This is bloodgood. It's a familiar variety. You can find it at almost any nursery. Yopon holly. This is one of the finest small trees that we have if you're in a zero lot line house, or if you have a small patio and you want a tree effect, kind of like you get with a crepe myrtle, but you want an evergreen. This is a great one to use. Speaking of trees, we're going to go in just a moment to the Texas Tree Climbing Championship, and your guide for the championship will be Arborological Services' Steve Hauser, my friend.
It's squash season, and today we'll be featuring summer squash. It's one of the most versatile vegetables in the kitchen. Today we'll be making a pasta fresco with fresh summer squash. When looking for summer squash, you want to have a nice bright color and nice firm texture.
Okay, maybe it was my fault.
She told me to kill the weeds.
And you did, along with the grass.
I used the wrong stuff.
Oh, there were dead spots everywhere.
This is the right stuff. Ortho Weed Be Gone Max. It kills weeds down to the root. Even the tough ones like dandelion and crabgrass.
But unlike that other stuff, it won't kill the grass. Ortho guarantees it. Kill the weeds, not the lawn.
Weeds, not lawn.
You got it?
Yeah. Ortho Weed Be Gone Max.
Defend what's yours.
Trees are a living legacy we leave to our grandchildren. The trees at our house are part of our family, and that's why Arborological Services is the only company that will ever touch my trees. This team of professional arborists has been caring for tens of thousands of trees all over North Texas for more than 30 years. With more than 10 certified arborists and college-degreed foresters, horticulturists, and pathologists, they're the best in Texas. Do what I did. Call Arborological Services. Arborological.com.
Are you a budding gardener? Head to North Haven Gardens, the destination for beautiful quality plants. Choose from a huge variety of locally grown herbs, vegetables, perennials, and blooming shrubs and trees. Visit with our friendly expert staff 7 days a week and attend free gardening classes year-round. We don't just grow plants at North Haven Gardens, we grow gardeners. Don't forget to pick up organic gardening products, soils, tools, and even urban homestead supplies. North Haven Gardens, your ultimate urban garden center.
You know, when something's been around for a while, you can figure it's a good thing. Since 1947, Elliott's has been making hardware shopping easy. When you need a thingamajig for your whatchamacallit, there's a good chance that Elliott's has got it. And now Elliott's has lots more than just hardware. From fresh ground coffee to great gardening supplies to lots of new eco-friendly products and some amazing barbecue grills that you're bound to love. So come on down to Elliott's. You'll leave with what you needed and a smile on your face to boot.
Dig In gives you advice about the best products for the season. It's time for the product of the week.
Don't let annoying bugs ruin your outdoor fun this year. Use Ortho Bug Be Gone Max. Use the granules in your spreader for your lawn. One application controls bugs for up to 3 months. Apply early in the spring or summer to prevent infestations, or apply at the first sign of insect activity or damage. Or use the ready-to-spray lawn and garden insect killer. Use it on your roses, flowers, shrubs, or on vegetables listed on the label. Get more information about this product and others at digindfw.com.
You're about to go to the Texas Tree Climbing Championship. It's an amazing thing to witness. I'm standing right here now where there used to be an American elm tree. Arborological Services had to take this tree down. It was threatening to fall and take out my entire landscape, and they were too when they arrived. I thought, how will they do that? It shows the importance of really good tree climbing, safe tree climbing, to bring that tree down right here in our midst, and it worked. Let's go see how they do it.
My name is Steve Hauser. I'm with Arborological Services, tree care expert company in the DFW area, and we're here to talk about the Texas Tree Climbing Competition, which is an event where the best tree climbers in the state get together to compete against each other to find out who is the best in the state. But second off, to teach safety. Safety in what we do is extremely important. We're in the fourth most dangerous business in the United States, according to the insurance industry. There's 5 preliminary events to the competition. One is called a footlock, where you bring up your feet and you bite them on the rope and then slide your knot up the rope. The other one is called a body thrust, where you start on the ground and you throw your hips and pull back on your rope as you throw your hips to work your way up into the tree. The third event is called the throw line event, where we hang targets up in trees at 50, 60, and 70 feet, and you're judged on your ability to get your throw line, a very small line with a weight on the end, up and through the target and back down. And then the next thing you have to do is put on a climbing line onto your throw line. The fourth event is called the aerial rescue, which is where we hang a dummy up in the tree, and then you're judged on your ability to get up safely to the climber and safely bring him down. The fifth event is behind me. It's called the work climb, which is a large tree, usually one of the largest that we can find, and then we hang bells or workstations out on the ends of the tree throughout the tree, and you're judged on your ability to, you start at the top, ring a buzzer, and then you run through the tree, working the different stations. It ends in a landing station. It's a circle on the ground where you have to jump out from the tree and then land down in a bullseye in the center of the target. If you're among the top 4 in acquiring points during the preliminary events, then you're invited to the final event, which will be later today. It's called the Masters Challenge. Top 4 point getters are basically duking it out to be the next state champion. Now, if you win the state championship, you're invited to the international competition, which is all around the world. Our company last year was the 18th year that we've won the competition and represented the state of Texas all around the world. And this year it's going to be in Australia. So that's an expensive flight down there, and you get your way paid if you win the state competition. So there is a real dogfight today to see who's going to get the opportunity to go to Australia.
Before I show you my prize holly behind me, I'm going to show you a not so prized vine that is growing here. This is kind of the wild outback of our landscape. This is Virginia creeper, Parthenocissus quinquefolia, Q-U-I-N, 5-leafed. You may say, Neil, you're going to have poison ivy all over you. 5 leaflets, not 3. That's the way you tell it apart, and this will come up in your yard. You need to know the difference. Ilex latifolia, luster leaf holly. Isn't this beautiful? It looks like a magnolia leaf, great big berries. This is the parent of many of the hollies that we have in our landscape. I just thought you'd like to see it. Coming up next, we're going to be looking at small herb gardens with Andrea right after this. Also coming up next, we have Chef Chris with Market Street. Grilled squash is his recipe today.
Dig in. Gardening, cooking, and more. Get the latest advice, tips, and recipes at digindfw.com. Dig In, presented by the Scott's Miracle Grow Company.
Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more.
Want your weeds to hit the road? Hit them with Roundup Extended Control. One application kills weeds and puts down a barrier to stop new ones for up to 4 months. Roundup Extended Control. Spray once, stop weeds for months.
With Lentz Landscape Lighting, you'll have full moonlight 365 nights of the year. Their talented professionals are artists with light, and your gardens become their canvas. I'll never forget the night that our lights came on for the very first time. They were absolutely beautiful, and they still are. Lentz Landscape Lighting adds safety and security, too. Nice people, great company. I'm proud of my 20-year association with Lentz Landscape Lighting. 972-241-0622.
You know when something's been around for a while, you can figure it's a good thing. Since 1947, Elliott's has been making hardware shopping easy. When you need a thingamajig for your whatchamacallit, there's a good chance that Elliott's has got it. And now Elliott's has lots more than just hardware. From fresh ground coffee to great gardening supplies to lots of new eco-friendly products and some amazing barbecue grills that you're bound to love. So come on down to Elliott's. You'll leave with what you needed and a smile on your face to boot.
Dig In with Neil Sperry, Andrea Rideout, and Chef Chris Wilson. Join us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Get the links at digindfw.com. Dig In, presented by the Scott's Miracle Grow Company.
Today's dig info is how to maintain summer annuals in the heat of the highest part of summer. Really and truly, there's no pixie dust, magic water you can spray on them. It's really 3 easy things. The right soil, make sure you amend your soil with compost or organic matter to hold moisture during the summer. Number 2 is mulch. It's the easiest thing to do to hold in moisture, keep the soil cooler, keep the plants flowering. And 3, pick the right plants, because truly the #1 problem with summer annuals is you pick the plants that really can't take the heat. Check our DallasPlantTrials.org. You can find the best plants for the hottest days of summer that will bloom every day. That's your dig info for today.
It's like a holly wonderland in here. This is dwarf Chinese holly, and you say, wow, that's taller than I thought it would get. Yeah, it's chest high, and it's not prickly. I mean, it doesn't feel particularly good. I wouldn't want to do that all day, but it is not as scary as a lot of people think. Nellie R. Stevens holly behind it. This does not bear fruit usually, but when it gets 30 years like this one does, occasionally you'll see berries on dwarf Chinese holly. Let's take a look at herbs with Andrea now in a small herb garden.
Today I'm going to show you that you don't have to have a big space to have a big garden. I'm here in East Dallas behind the Green Spot gas station at Lake Highlands Village Shopping Center, and I've got my friend Ron Richard with me from Home Depot. He's brought some cool stuff, and along with some of the props that we've gotten from Elliott's Hardware, we're going to show you how you can plant a small garden in your office environment, whether it's indoors or out, or maybe just some house plants at home. Ron, I just love this example you brought. This is ready to go.
Yeah, it's a red geranium.
Just hang it
Very
up,
easy to
huh?
grow.
Yeah.
You just buy it, set it up, keep it watered, feed it about once a month, and you're good to go.
Okay, now we're actually going to get to work here. We're going to choose our plants. Now, what'd you bring with you, Ron?
I brought some wonderful herbs, some sages, coriander, pineapple sage.
And then I hear for sun, you can't beat regular.
You cannot beat basil.
Good old basil, that's right.
It goes terrific with tomatoes.
And I've had terrific luck with basil too in the area.
Yes.
All right, how about shade though? Because we have a problem here where we've got mix of sun and shade.
Yes, we do, but you cannot beat mint.
Mint is fab, and boy, last year my mint took over,
Yes,
so
it
we'll
did.
enjoy that in our garden
Absolutely.
this year. And I hear you brought something special.
I brought something really fun. It's a sweetener. It's called stevia.
Stevia, I put it in my
Absolutely.
coffee every day. So I can just pinch that off and throw it in my tea or
Absolutely.
coffee.
Absolutely.
Lovely. Okay, so let's go put them in the ground, Ron.
Let's go.
All right.
Just peel off the plastic top that keeps the pot intact, but we're going to plant the rest of the pot.
We're just going to dig right in here. We enhanced it with the Scott's Organic Choice soils and compost that we have created ourselves out of all of our waste. Just break up the bottom of these pots so that the plant can actually root through. So here's our garden. It's just about finished. We also installed a rain barrel so that we can keep it nice and watered. And this is actually kind of a cool rain barrel. It's tall and skinny. We found this over at Elliott's Hardware. So we want to thank our friends again from Home Depot and Elliott's Hardware. Now, Ron, what store are you from?
I'm from the flagship store. That's the Skillman location, just north of Northwest Highway in Dallas, Texas.
Cool. Well, that's a great store. I love that store.
Thank you very much.
Great
Thank you
Home
for having
Depot.
me.
Oh, yeah. We really appreciate you being on the show. So get out there and dig in. Again, pick a small space. You can have a big garden and be a wonderful gardener, too. Have a lot of fun with it.
This is Chef Chris with Market Street. I'm going to show you how to make a balsamic grilled summer squash. Let's start off by cutting the squash. Instead of cutting it in disc, what you want to do so you can get a nice grill coverage and the squash doesn't fall through the grill grates is cut it lengthwise. I start by cutting off one side, we can use that, and then giving you a nice solid base so it doesn't roll around on you. You make about 1/4 inch slices all the way down. Same with the zucchini. Cut our ends off, square off the bottom, and make long slices. I like adding a little onion to this because it tastes really good with squash. Cut my ends off. I always peel the first layer of that onion off because it tends to be a little tough. Again, same thing. We're just going to cut nice 1/4-inch disc out of that. Now that we have our squash cut, I'm going to make the marinade liquid. This is a very simple balsamic vinaigrette. We'll start off by putting my balsamic vinegar. I have some garlic in here. Love the smell of that. A little bit of sugar. Mix these together. And then I have an extra virgin olive oil here. Slowly drizzle this into the vinegar. And as you pour the oil in it, it's going to start to thicken to make the dressing. This time of year, it's got some great rosemary growing out in the garden. So I'm going to add a little bit of that to it as well. You can add any type of herb you want. I like using rosemary. Just going to rough chop this. Rosemary can tend to be a little strong, so you don't want too much in there. Mix that in, and we pour this right over. Marinates it in about 4 hours. I have some that I marinated earlier, so let's go ahead and grill these. Okay, these are grilled just perfectly. Have some nice grill marks, a little bit of added flavor to that. Looks great. So let's plate this up. I have a bamboo plate here. The thing I like about this squash, it goes with just about any dish, or you can eat it by itself. It goes great with any type of protein or seafood. I've got some of this great onion focaccia bread. Serve along the side of this. Nice flavor. And here we have our balsamic grilled summer squash. When I come back, I'll be showing you how to make a great fresh pasta with summer squash.
Dig In with Neil Sperry, Andrea Rideout, and Chef Chris Wilson. Join us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Get the links at digindfw.com. Dig In, presented by the Scott's Miracle Grow Company.
What do we have here? Oh, it's Scott's Naturescapes Advanced Mulch.
Advanced, huh? Mulch is mulch.
Oh, not so, Pops. Ordinary mulch can fade after a few months.
It's mulch.
Naturescapes holds its color for a full year.
A whole year?
Guaranteed. Plus, it's water smart.
Water what?
Water smart. Channels water directly to the roots, reducing runoff so you can water 30% less.
Saves water, holds color. You're sure this is mulch?
Scott's Naturescapes Advanced Mulch.
Nobody wants to have foundation problems, but when we did, I was so glad I could trust my home and my office to the very best. Advanced Foundation Repair. Leaders in the foundation repair industry, they're the first company ever to make their warranty good for the lifetime of the home, transferable from owner to owner to owner. Their home inspection is absolutely free, so call today. Advanced Foundation Repair, the very best. 214-333-0003. To get your floors the next best thing to new, you know to call Dalworth. Well, now Dalworth has the best in new floors, too. I'm here at the Dalworth Fine Floors showroom with manager Justin Sifford.
Neil, in our store, customers will find style and quality they can trust, all backed by Dalworth's 35 years of flooring experience.
Come visit Dalworth Fine Floors.
Or call us and we'll come to you.
Dalworth Fine Floors, worth the trip from anywhere. 8509 Davis, North Richland Hills, 817-520-1400.
Dig In, gardening, cooking, and more. Get the latest advice, tips, and recipes at digindfw.com. Dig In, presented by the Scott's Miracle Grow Company.
This is Chef Chris with Market Street. I'm going to be featuring summer squash and showing you how to do a great pasta dish all in one pan. We're going to start off by heating our pan over medium-high heat. Got a large saute pan here. This is a non-stick pan, works really nicely. You can use one that's not Teflon coated. Just make sure you have a big, nice pan because there's a lot of ingredients going in. We'll start off with some extra virgin olive oil. Heat that up. We're going to start building our flavors. So I'm going to put some white onion in there. Have some fresh minced garlic. We're going to let these cook together just for about a minute. Now what I have here is some nice fresh summer squash and zucchini. It's about a 1/4 inch dice. We're going to add our fresh tomatoes, sliced Spanish olives here. Like I said, you need a really large saute pan for this because it's going to be enough to feed quite a few people. Okay, we've let these vegetables cook together and get all their flavors out. They're starting to soften a little bit. Now it's time. What we're going to do is add a little bit of white wine. I'm adding some Chardonnay to this, actually. This is a 3 Wine Man label for Market Street. And just to make a little bit of sauce, I'm taking some fresh crushed tomato. You can use a canned crushed tomato if you'd like. Take fresh tomatoes, put them in a food mill. And we're just going to blend that in. You can add any kind of pasta as well, your favorite pasta. I particularly like whole wheat pasta. The penne cut, it's a lot easier to mix in. You can use a fresh pasta. This is a fresh linguine that's been boiled. Make your own. So I'm going to go ahead and add some whole wheat penne. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and put my seasoning. Fresh cracked pepper. Salt to taste. And we just toss this all together. Let that simmer a couple minutes and then plate it up. And the way I like to plate this up is do it family style in a big bowl where everybody can pass it around the table. Gets you some nice bread. This is a great ciabatta bread that you can grill and serve alongside. And we're just going to pour that into our dish. And there we have a great fresh pasta fresco featuring summer squash. All these recipes are available at digindfw.com. Let's dig in.
Thank you, Chef Chris. Some more great recipes. We really appreciate that. And those recipes are on our website, digindfw.com. A lot of other great information as well. We're going to close right about where we started here on the old brick paver walk with Carissa holly. This is the dwarf holly of choice right now. If you have Indian hawthorns that are struggling, this is the plant that would be the great replacement for them, Carissa holly. I hope you've enjoyed the program today. I hope you've enjoyed the tour of our backyard and my holly kingdom. I love hollies. Have you noticed? Until next week, thanks for watching. Happy gardening.
Welcome. Today's Dig Info is how to... No.
Speaking of trees, you are standing right where Steve... Oh.
And that's your Dig Info for today. I can't say Dig Info.
This is Chef Chris with Market Street. I messed up when I had a lisp. That was weird. Okay.